Elio guys, and welcome back. In today's video though, we have the Easter Bunny, which is our newest exotic for 2022, so I'm looking forward to reviewing this Astromon. Do keep in mind too that I do have a playlist of all the Astromon that I have reviewed. Most of them are up to date, but some are out of date, and as the future goes, those videos will be updated, but let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so we're starting off here with Dark One because I didn't feel like waiting at all because I literally just got here and I'm checking them out now. So let's quickly look at the design of Easter Bunny before I do the review. I think it's awesome. That thing looks extremely massive. Quite a big and scary bunny right there, especially with that kind of angry looking face. But anyways, the Dark Easter Bunny is an attacker type, and he's coming in with 26k HP, 3.5k attack, and then 2.5k defense. Okay. Skill wise though, if I can get it to pull up correctly, for his 3-star skill, there's the new skill Force Exchanged, which has an 80% chance of stealing the 2 most recent enemy buffs and shields and giving the enemy 2 of your debuffs, and obviously it doesn't affect bosses and stuff of that nature. And then for the 5-star skill, it's just the classical Predator, and I can read some of the time here, and it looks like the Easter Bunny is an AoE mon, so that's always nice to know, because I think one of the mons, like Mira, which I was super excited about, ended up being single target only for his attack up, and it was just like, man, I have betrayed everyone here. So already, once again, just more so geared towards PvP. With it being a Nat 4 though, it doesn't receive the benefits as it would if it was a Nat 3, but still could be possibly interesting. Force Exchange does receive a whopping 30% damage increase, and it goes up to 90% for those 2 debuffs, or 2 buffs that it's stealing and 2 debuffs that it's applying. And then Predator gets bumped up to what, 50%? 50%, and then also there's a 20% damage increase. So books on it aren't bad, and this Astromon is obviously going to be accessible to everyone here. So I mean, as I go through the other ones, I can give you a better insight into that, but I think the Dark One is okay for now. Alright, and then next up here we have the Light One, who's a balance type, coming in with 28k HP, 2.6k attack, and then 2.4k defense. Stats could be higher, even though I understand that it's a balance type, but just coming from the dark type literally has like nearly 1k more attack than this one and slightly less HP. I don't even remember the defense, but it is what it is. I don't make the rules here, you guys. So this one comes in with exposed weakness on its 3-star skill with an 80% chance for 2 turns, and then for the 5-star skill, lethal strike, and once again it's AoE. So this is interesting because it could set up potential damage for not only itself, or just your entire team in itself. I like that. And the 5-star skill, lethal strike, with the new Apophis dungeon, the Dimension Defense, this is obviously just geared towards that. I mean, you could in theory bring this in a PvP situation, but I don't know how many defense teams you fight out there with all defense aggressors, so use at your own discretion. But yeah, this is pretty much Apophis, or of course we also have the World Boss, so use at your own discretion. Books wise though, exposed weakness gets a damage increase by 20%, and it goes up to 90% for 2 turns. That's nice. And then lethal strike receives a whopping 20% damage increase. Wow. That's it. We can't get 25. We can't get 30. Only 20, bro. And now we're over here in that 3 section, which is these will be the Astromon that we can capture out on the field, and we have to fuse to get the light and darks, just in case anyone was curious about that. But we do have the wood version of Easter Bunny, who is a tank type. He's coming in with 36k HP, 1.7k attack, and then 1.8k defense. Literally nothing. Just nothing. Yeah, he has HP, but with his defense being that dirt nasty low, whew, my boy, what have they done to you? But for his 3-star skill, there's Resistance Down, which grants 100% chance to reduce the enemy's resistance for 2 turns. And then it also has Purification, 100% chance to cleanse all allies of all negative effects. And once again, this is geared towards more Apophis than anything else. There's not any other situation where I've ever found Purification in the 25,000 years I've been playing MSL useful. So this could be definitely usable right there in terms of kind of setting up not only your squad to kind of get hopefully something else applied to Apophis. Not saying that you're going to stun him or anything like that, but if resistance down could help, you could possibly run in there with some curse, but not really. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You might bring him in here purely for the 5-star skill. I know there's other Ashramon with the purification though, so with his stat distribution too and him not being like a healer, this could actually be a very, very bad call. So do keep that with a grain of salt. Skillbook wise though, there is a 25% damage increase for the resistance down, and then purification also receives the 25% damage increase, but it doesn't mean anything at all. So far though, I would say that this one's probably the weakest out of the bunch, just because resistance down and purification go together, but because he's a damage dealer, it doesn't really go, but we'll have to see. We will have to see. Alright, and then coming in hot after that, we do have the Water Easter Rabbit, who's a defender type, coming in with nearly 29k HP. That's surprising considering the light and dark versions have the same HP pool. 2.2k attack, but he's a defender, so we only care about defense anyways. And defense is a solid 3k, so decent stat distribution honestly as a Nat 3. Like, really decent stat distribution. I'm surprised. And if you do participate in the Nat 3 League where their stats are boosted up, that could be also interesting as well. For the 3-star skill though, it does have the new skill Force Exchange with a 90% chance of stealing the first or the one most recent buff in shields of the enemy and giving them one of your debuffs. And then for the 5-star skill, 80% chance to stun the enemy for 1 turn. 1 turn. Yikers. I understand this is Nat 3, but 1 turn? Let's take a look at the skill books. So Force Exchange receives a whopping 30% damage increase. Okay, I'm down with that. And it goes up to, what was that, 90% again? Nope, goes up to 100%. And then Stun receives a 20% damage increase and goes to 100% for 1 turn. Okay, okay. It's not 2 turns, but 100% guaranteed. Outside of resist, I'll take that. I'll take that. I mean, this is an Ashramon, once again, that I think all players, at least interested in PvP or interested to see how they can kind of manipulate this mechanic, should pick up just because it's going to be dirt nasty free. If not, you can go ahead and pick up the dark one, which is just a better or a more damage oriented version of this Ashramon, just to play with it, because once again, I said in the maintenance notes that this could be potentially OP on the next mon that they introduce with this, but at least this one can kind of serve as our guinea pig and our foundation for something that's useful. But with that being said though, this kit here is purely towards PvP. I don't really see it used anywhere else. There's also possibly the Tower of Chaos. I can't, you know, don't quote me on that because I haven't done Elemental Tower of Chaos in quite a long time, because we're not here talking about that. We're reviewing the Easter Bunny. But yeah. And then last but not least, we do have the Fire Easter Bunny, who's a balance type, coming in with 31k HP, 2.2k attack, and then 2.3k defense. But anyways, the Fire one has a 3-star skill, which is Shield Break. Obviously, you can break the enemy's shield. And then for the 5-star skill, there's Attack Down, which grants a 70% chance to reduce the enemy's attack for 2 turns. If you guys had said Apophis, or Apophis, shall I say, congratulations, you are 100% correct. Especially with the drought of people trying to build up, I think, like Fire Kikis. There was the Fire Gingerbread Cookie guy, and maybe one other Ashramon that has like an accessible kit with Shield Breaker without a ton of investment. This is going to be one of those smiley face gamer moments where dudes will be picking up at least a couple thousands of these. Probably at least 2, I would imagine, just to help deal with Wood Apophis, because in his current state without a Shield Breaker, you're literally wasting your time trying to do like a team composition after a certain point, because that shield will not break at all. If you are definitely interested in the Apophis dungeon, make sure you pick it up, especially if you'd like any shield breakers. With skillbooks though, shield break goes to 25%, and then attack down goes to 20%, well, gets to 20% damage increase, and that then goes to 80% chance for 2 turns. So overall, pretty solid here. My take on this is obviously you can catch the RGB, but Wood one, I think the Wood one is going to have to be garbage for me. Wood is just terrible. I don't like it at all. In terms of like what is the most optimal to aim for here, obviously going for light and dark is kind of the always the best notion in most cases to go for Astromon. So I would say number 1 is going to have to be Dark for me, because I'm interested in the Force Exchange skill. It's not going to change the meta here by itself, but once the new Nat 5 has this skill on it, things could be at least interesting. And Predator, once again, with that going up to 50%, is some easy raw damage there, even though he's not a wave clearer by any means. He's just a, I guess, a punisher of buffs, and he can deal some damage. The light one's going to be second in my book. He could be first in your book if you are like hell-bent on doing the Dimension Defense dungeon and getting some high scores out of there. But once again, this Astromon is kind of accessible to everyone. And if you're a newer player, obviously your place in the Apophis dungeon or Apophis, I keep going in between of those, may be kind of like bad. I think if you want to go ham on that, you should at least pick this mon up and build it in the future. Because even if it's in that Evo 3 and you don't really use it today, a month or two from now, when your account has made a lot more progress, you could actually put this bad boy to use. So number 2 is going to be light. Number 3, I would say, honestly, it could go either way. You could be fire or water, depending on your preferences. I'm not a super big PvP fan, but I guess if I cared about the Nat 3 League, I would go for the water one. If not, I would probably just honestly lean more towards the fire one. For the Dimension Defense dungeon, just because it's not PvP. Like, I already have PvP teams. I don't really switch them out for the Nat 3, so this isn't super appealing for me. But for the people that actually try and get plenty of gems from PvP, this is just another play toy. And yeah, once again, the wood one's garbage. But feel free to leave in the comments below about which one you guys are most excited for. I think the design is quite cute and also quite scary, because I haven't seen the actual size of this Astromon yet. Looking forward to that Capture Festival, because your boy is going to try and get all 5 of these bad boys or girls up to Evo 3 if I can. If not, one of my biggest pro tips is at least try and get light and dark. If you can't even get light and dark, at least get like the light one to Evo 1 and try and go for the dark one. Or get the light one to Evo 3 and at least get the Evo 1 version of the dark one. That way, if it comes back around, you don't have to worry about the whole fusion thing, and you can just catch them Evo 3, that Astromon that you missed, and congratulations, it's all over. But that's pretty much it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.